everybody, welcome to Big Balls Fantasy Football, the show of powerful picks, sexy superfans, and that's really fun. I'm your host, 20-year fantasy veteran, Greg Reifsteck.
And I'm your co-host, Jenilee, a 10-year fantasy veteran, and this is our cute, adorable little sidekick. This is Zoe, and together we are the beauty
and the beast
of fantasy football experts.
So we are in Week 16. We are in your fantasy Super Bowl. It's it. It's finally here. It's taken all season to get here, and Jenilee is in the holiday spirit.
I am. We're about a little more than a week away from Christmas. I will be going back to Chicago for Christmas, so of course I have my Santa hat on, and we're all wearing our Bulls gear, Zoe included, because the Bears sucked this year. They sucked the life out of us in football.
Yep, the Bears do not deserve to have one piece of clothing on us. The Bears lost their ass on national TV, 35-15. So I want to do a little impersonation for you really quick, okay? See if you can guess who I am.
I would probably have to guess maybe Cutler.
Yes. No smile, no expression, arms hanging. He reminds, you know what my new nickname for him is? Charlie Brown.
Yeah,
He's Charlie Brown. Yeah.
He basically never has emotion. I mean, I noticed it when they were singing the national anthem, before the game even started, and they show, Cutler on the screen next to, and a cut of Drew Brees.
Yeah.
And he's just emotionless, and it's like, what does it take to get this guy going? I mean, you've had the worst season. You should be at least playing for your teammates, at least playing for pride. Play to earn your huge paycheck you're getting. And it's just, I don't know what it takes to get him going. Yeah. I'm beyond over Cutler. I'm beyond over this Bears team. Yeah. It's just been bad. So
yeah, I mean, he's totally checked out. And then all day today in the media and last night after the game, you get to see every national, commentator worth their salt, even the people that I hate, just reaming Jay Cutler out and reaming out the management of the Bears. It's embarrassing. Anthony, who's at Tin Horn, posted on his page on Facebook, and we reposted it, $50 club seats available that usually go for about $800, sometimes for like Packer games like $2,000, $50. The fans have spoken.
Oh yeah, and I think that there were a total of like 11,000 empty seats at last night's game. So, and I have a little impression too. Who am I? Well, we had a great week of practice. We have a lot we have to work on.
That would be Trestman. Definitely Trestman. Every single week. That's his mantra. And that shouldn't be your coach's mantra. It should be, hey, what the fuck is going on here? Why are we doing so badly? Bitching about it. I am sure when Aaron Rodgers had a crappy week last week, I'm sure Mike McCarthy chewed his ass out.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, it's just this constant, we didn't get it done. We didn't do enough to win. We didn't get it done. Yeah, you didn't get it done. So how are you going to change things to actually get it done? So I actually read a report just before we started the show on CBS Sports Chicago that management met last night after yet another blowout, another half of football that the Bears had 0 points on the board, and that it's very, very possible that they will let go of Trestman, even though the Bears typically don't let go of a head coach within a 2-year span. They usually allow the coach, more time, but it's just been such a drastically horrible, terrible year. That Trestman is definitely, I think, for sure on the hot seat. We've been saying he should be on the hot seat for a while. I think Mel Tucker will be gone. I would love if Cutler would be gone, but we're obviously paying him way too much money with that contract to be able to trade or unload him, I'm pretty sure. But
well, I mean, what's that, Zoe? Yeah.
You want Cutler gone too?
She wants Cutler gone too. So that's it. When you have the expert speaking, that's it. So she's going to find our season down there on the floor. That's what she's doing. Where's our season? Where's our season? It's on the floor. It's somewhere. It sure as hell wasn't with us. So, the game was horrible, and you just have it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing because Jacksonville is like just notoriously the land of suck, and they don't have a huge payroll. So it's like, okay, they suck. Or you have other teams that just they suck year after year after year, and they're notorious for it. We came in with all of these great players, and we came up with everybody on the table ready to do this, and I'm saying this right now again, like I said last season, we let the wrong quarterback go. We should have kept McCown. He was the one that got us into the playoffs. For some reason, he worked in Trestman's system. I don't know how, but he made it work, and it got us to the playoffs. So my opinion is, I think if we would have kept him, I think you might disagree with me. I don't know if you agree with me.
I mean, McCown is not a long-term guy that you're going to have at quarterback. He obviously isn't doing very much in Tampa Bay. Look at Tampa Bay. They're a disaster. So he's not the type of quarterback that's going to lead you to the Super Bowl. We missed the playoffs last year. We didn't make it in the playoffs. We were closer to getting in the playoffs. We were one game away.
A much better record.
I don't think McCown's the answer, but you don't sign a guy like Cutler to a long-term contract either when he has a terrible touchdown-to-interception ratio. He continues to turn the ball over. He continues to not get better at the mistakes, and I feel like maybe he doesn't put the time in that he needs to. I don't know exactly what the problem, but when you've gone through a slew of head coaches and coordinators that can't get through to this guy, you don't give a guy like that type of contract. You just don't do that.
Should we do what every other sports commentator does and blame his wife? Blame his hot wife? Is that what we should do? I'm just kidding. Let's get down to stats. Let's get down to the horrible stats. We were just humiliated. I mean, our defense was horrible. Cutler, 194, 2 touchdowns, 3 picks. I mean, that says it all. The 3 picks is what killed us. Forte was the shining light, as usual, on the team. 16 attempts for 78 yards rushing, 2 passes for 21 yards. Fantasy-wise, he did good for you. I'm going to talk about him in my picks this week, about how this week he isn't going to be a very good pick. And then you had Alshon Jeffrey, 4 for 78 and a touchdown. And then Wilson got a touchdown as well.
Yeah. Of course, that all was in garbage time when the game was already being lost for long enough by the Bears. And, I mean, this is definitely the worst Bears season I have ever seen. It is embarrassing, not only on the field, but off the field. Everything that's going on with Cromer saying stuff about Cutler into the media. And, I mean, it's just everything being piled up with this team is just... We are the embarrassment of the NFL. Yes. It's a complete joke, and fans are tired of it. And please, ownership, if Phil Emery stays, please do something with this team, because this is a big market team. Chicago is a huge sports city, and we're fed up. I'm so sick of it. I barely even watched the game last night. I went to run an errand and didn't even finish watching the game because I'm just so freaking sick of it.
It shocked me. I'm like, we were texting through the whole game, and all of a sudden she's like, I ran an errand. I'm like, wow. Die-hard Bears fan. Jenilee runs an errand.
I'm so tired.
Shocked.
I'm tired of it. I'm on to Bulls and Blackhawks. Tired.
Go Bulls. Go Bulls. D-Rose, stay upright. You're doing okay right now. Don't trip over anything on the way to the locker room, okay? Or go to the store and, stub your toe, anything. Do you wanna take us through the
Yeah, so the Saints looked a lot better than they have. They haven't been the best team.
Wonder how that happened.
Yeah, they haven't been the best team this season either. But they are still looking to get into the playoffs in that horrible NFC South division.
We helped them get to the top of the division last night.
Yes, we did. Brees had 375 yards and 3 touchdowns. Mark Ingram had 58 yards and 1 rushing touchdown. And Colston had 5 for 65 yards, 1 touchdown. Graham had 87 yards, no touchdowns for him, but Josh Hill stole the spotlight, the Saints' other tight end, and he had 2 touchdowns. So we had a little bit of vulturing going on.
That segues right into what I wanted to talk about next, and that is I was texting her, who's Josh Hill? And she's like, the other tight end. And I'm like, well, no, everybody needs Jimmy Graham. This sucks. Both of us were the victim of another vulturing on the Chiefs.
Yeah, absolutely. I picked up Niall Davis in case Jamal Charles wouldn't go for some reason.
So did I.
And, Jamal Charles ended up playing, so I started Charles. Davis was on my bench, and for sure, Davis did a lot better.
Yeah, I think I got 8 points out of Jamal, and there was 21 points for Niall Davis on the bench, and I needed them because I ended up losing in mine, and I'm playing third place in my game against Prost in Trash Bowl 15. So I'm playing for a hey you, come up here, come up here. There you go.
She's very talkative today.
She's upset. She's upset about the Bears. That's the problem. She's extremely upset. We're pumped up, so dog sense that stuff, and she's pumped up. So what you are going for all the marbles in my work league at Disney.
I am. It's actually a money league, and I'm in the championship game, so we will see what ends up happening this week. I have a couple matchups that might be slightly tough. I know T.Y. Hilton is iffy right now, with the hamstring, so I'm hoping he goes because he's been fantastic this season for me. So I think it's going to be a tough championship game, but, 1 more week to go.
She took out the guy that was in first place for the entire season.
That's right.
And as Prost and I used to always say, Prost used to go in first, and I'd go, well, it was good seeing you in the playoffs because you're going to go out in the first week. It happens in most leagues. All season, you got this stellar record, and then we're going to talk about it in our segments this week, in our Beast Mode and in our Real Men. Just hard matchups, especially coming up in week 16.
Oh, yeah. Well, Aaron Rodgers and company had a really tough time against that Bills tough defense.
We warned you.
So Rodgers, probably hurt a lot of people that were in the playoffs. He normally plays way better. So it really does come down to matchups, and I think that's a strategy we've been talking about.
Yes.
And I've been, messing around with a little bit this year, is going to the waiver wire and seeing if there's a better matchup out there. There's not always going to be, but sometimes there are still some people left out there. You do need to start your key starters, but if you have a guy that's just been a little up and down during the season and he's got a bad matchup, there might be somebody else out there that is also up and down but has a good matchup, and you might want to go grab that person.
Or you have somebody that's streaking, who we talked about, and there is one player that got you win after win after win.
Oh, yeah. Odell Beckham Jr., I picked him up off the waiver wire, I think, a couple weeks into when he started doing good. Yeah. And he has just been, balling out. Yeah. So, a lot of times you have to draft a good team, but injuries are going to happen. Yeah. People are going to come up through the season that you didn't see coming, and you got to be able to go and get them. Yeah.
So, I'm not saying one player won it for your team, but he was definitely essential in coming out of. She was in the middle, and then she leapfrogged me to get into the playoffs, and then she took out number one. Yeah. So that's fantasy football, ladies and gentlemen. And then I wanted to give my happiness. The one thing that I am happy about, my Christmas gift this year was Johnny Football completely shitting the bed in his debut with the Browns. I was loving it. I was completely loving life. I could hear all the ESPN people in their office over there in Bristol just crying. Our East Coast guy that we've been hoping would do so well comes out and just bombs it off. He ended up going, the game was just a shutout and 30-0. Just a freaking embarrassment. He went 10 for 18 for 80 yards passing, 5 for 13 rushing. This dynamo, equal to RG3 rusher. Nothing. Not a damn thing. And a lot of people picked him up, hoping he was going to be their, miraculous hope to get into the playoffs, and tons of people got killed on him.
Yeah, and I think it's a situation where with a lot of college quarterbacks, it is tough to know who's going to come out and do really well and excel in the NFL and who's not. I know throughout a lot of the years, there's been these quarterbacks that get drafted top 5 that don't end up doing anything. Then there's quarterbacks like Russell Wilson that get drafted in the 2nd, 3rd round, end up, coming out and being really good in the pros. So I think it's unpredictable. I definitely think if Johnny Football is going to do well in the NFL, he needed this wake-up call. He needs a couple wake-up calls to humble him and realize that, the NFL isn't college. These defensive guys.
You can't be walking around like this on the field in the NFL because a guy's going to come over and he's going to beat your ass.
Yeah, these defensive guys are fast. They're good. They're veterans. And, he's got a lot to learn still. So I think we will end up seeing, time will tell if he will do anything in the NFL. But, for sure, he needs to learn that it's not as easy as he thought, maybe.
Yeah, and what pissed me off, I had Isaiah Crowell in my flex, and because he got the team so far behind, the running game went to hell because you can't run when you're down 20-0. So everybody that had Weston Crowell got screwed too. And I'm going to talk about that on one of my picks. If the quarterback starts sucking, your running game's going to go to shit too. Yeah. So this is our official last episode of the season.
It is our last episode.
It's our last
and
episode.
I have something for Greg.
Oh, for goodness.
It's Christmas time. He did this to me last year.
I know.
So I'm getting him back this year.
She's getting me. I'm going to give you a gift we're going to do one more show from the Tin Horn where it's going to be just a complete bitch fest. You're going to see such angry Bear fans at the Tin Horn. It's going to be like a bloodbath. I think we'll maybe find, like a Lions fan out on the street and just pummel him. I'm just kidding. No violence. It's just a goddamn sport. Oh boy.
Time for the Bears to lose out.
What do we got here? Hey, you bought me one too?
Yeah.
All right. Brendan Marshall. Very worthy cause. Brendan Marshall Foundation. Go to thebrandonmarshall.org right there. Go back to one of our episodes at the Tin Horn. It was a really good cause. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Merry Christmas.
Yay. Now I'm going to glow on Christmas. I'm going to look like a damn ornament. So keep up with us on social media during the off season. And we, of course, at bigballsfantasyfootball.com. Our Facebook page is facebook.com/bigballsfantasyfootball.
And our Twitter is @BigBallsFBall, so catch us at any one of these. You're watching us on YouTube, youtube.com/BigBallsFootball.
Mm-hmm. Any last words, Zoe, before we do our picks?
Go Bulls!
Go Bulls! Don't stub your toe, Derrick Rose. Come on. All right, well, everybody have a wonderful holiday season, whether it be Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever spiritual thing you believe in, or if this is your religion. Have a great holiday. Any holiday wishes from you?
No, just happy and safe holidays, of course, and good luck in, for sure, your fantasy championships. If you made it that far, good luck. I hope you guys win.
Yeah.
And also good luck to your teams if your real-life teams are doing better and they've clinched the playoff or are going to make the playoffs. Good luck to you as well.
Definitely. All right. I think I am first this week, so on to the Beast Mode picks. Stay tuned.